What it is, focus your homeboy first, back again with a special edition of the realest, most entertaining show in the game. Put it on something. I got a very special one for y'all today. You understand me? Now, these are repeat guests. You know what I'm talking about? Some of the absolute realists in the game. I got a real one that represents that Oak Cliff, baby. You understand me? I got a real one that's representing that Juice City. You understand me? And both of these gentlemen are historians when it comes to that HBCU football, young dig. I would put them up against anybody in the nation when it comes to knowledge about HBCU football. I'm talking about the host of HBCU Overdrive. I'm talking about the host of Zone Coverage. That's my dogs, Doc Holliday and Zo Phillips. What up, man?
What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Jay's up to my days up, baby.
There it is. There it is, goddammit. Well, look here, man. I appreciate y'all for coming on. There's nobody I'd rather talk to than y'all fellas. You know what I'm talking about? Again, y'all are historians in it, but you're still young enough to know both sides of it, still young enough to have that damn swagger. You know what I'm talking about? That my viewers show enough love, you know what I'm saying? So I'm so glad to have y'all on, man. But we ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna go ahead and give the people what they want.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. The first question, I'm gonna go to Zo first, and then Doc, of course, I want you to answer it as well. Okay. And I'm sure all the real ones throughout the illustrious Jackson State University fan base would like to know this answer. What does Jackson State have to do, y'all, to repeat as HBCU national champions? Again, Zo, I'll go to you first.
It's a great question. When you look at this team and knowing that we bring back everything that we bring back, you're talking about TC Taylor coming to his third season, continuity on his staff, only losing two coaches on the staff that moved up, as well as the plethora of offensive and defensive weapons that we have with the offensive player of the year. I would say this team needs to do more of the same, but this team is going to be different. As you guys know, first, every season, every team is different. But this team in particular, what it needs to do to win will be a lot of the same. We'll need to be able to maintain drives the way we did running the ball in every game, win the turnover battle, which Jackson State did last season. But be consistent and win all three phases of the game, which coincidentally, that's what Jackson State did last season. Jackson State, if you look at all the games outside of Grambling, the way they looked on offense, they could say they won on the offensive side of the ball. When you look at defense, it started off kind of rough, but, Coach Quinn ended up, turning that thing around and became a dominant defense toward the back half of the season, having shutouts in multiple games. So it's safe to say they won on defense. But they also won in special teams. And if you go back to year one, we lost because of those things. That became an asset in year two. Now you got continuity in year three, and Jackson State needs to win in all three phases of the game. Win again on special teams, defense, and offense. Specifically, to answer your question, I would say, being able to maintain drives. I'm going to use this season as a continuation from the national championship game. You look at the thing that stood out in that game first. We had one drive of 19 plays, and we had another drive of 14 plays. When you have a dominant defense, you can maintain drive that way. That's a recipe for success. Mm-hmm. Also, we had a punt return for a touchdown, called back inexcusably, which was an error, called back, but still a touchdown nonetheless. So again, to your question, I'm sorry. Win on offense, have sustained drives, have success running the ball, play dominant defense, have a dominant special teams, and we will repeat this national champion.
I like the way that sounds. Doc, what say you, dog? Same thing.
I say don't change anything. Keep what we had from last season. We talking about the mad scientist when it comes to defense with Coach Quinn. The way that he adjusts, really not even in the second half, but after a certain drive, from the opposing team, he's been able to adjust. And as far as offensive wise go, keep running the ball. We don't have too much of a bell cow running back like we did with Herb Mulligan. But when you look at it, we do have a plethora of running backs that can go out there and give you 500-600 yards for a season. You might got one that can give you 700-800 yards. We have one that can give you at least 1,200 yards, all-purpose yards, in rushing and receiving, and in a return game. So I don't see anything that we need to do different, except for keep it the way it is. Like you said, we got the coaching continuity, losing just the 2 defensive coaches, but gaining 2 more and gaining a lot of access and keeping the coaching staff young is what's going to get us over the top. A lot of people, to me, I feel like because we lost in a sense, kind of like they say we lost the heart and soul of the team. I don't see anything, I don't see anything bad about it. My whole thing is keep doing what you're doing. I mean, we started the season off last season with running back by committee until Herb got back into the game, fully healthy within the second or third game. So just keep it as it is. I would tell Jacoby, keep the turnovers down, make solid throws. Use your running backs, use your receivers, use your tight ends. Let them big hog mollies block for you in front of you. That's the thing I would say. And then on defensive wise, I say at least have it. I say when you play that defense, it's hell on earth right there. That's what I call hell. We call it, we call it the dark side defense for a reason. It's gonna get very dark. It's gonna get spooky up in there. So, and we didn't lose a lot as far as on defense. I know on the back end we lost some all-SWAC DBs and Rob and K1, but it says, but I think the difference is that you also got players like a BJ Washington that really didn't play too much last season, but the season before he damn near was all SWAC. he led the team in interceptions.
You're damn good.
So you look at that, and we still have some sort of continuity in the defense. Front seven is, to me, is by far is one of the best in the conference, regardless. I put that on anybody. I think the second best front seven I would look at would be Southern.
I've been telling y'all to visit KingMcNeal.com for the longest now, but y'all thought it was a game. Check this out. I told you, if you a D9 member, they got you. Take a look at the inventory. Y'all see everybody is represented right here. And they got something new for y'all too. They got a collegiate collection. Let's check this out. Now, some of these haven't been stocked yet, but they do have the license for all of these institutions that you see right here. All right. And if you're wondering why Jackson State University isn't listed, don't blame King McNeal. They've applied. But let's check out what they got over there for A&M. Let's just see. Come on, dog. If you got somebody in your life who's a real one over there down with A&M, you might well go ahead and buy something for them. Look at that. Ain't that hard? That's hard right there. That's hard right there. And they got this kind of stuff either right now for all those institutions I just showed you, or they got it on the way. So shop with the King McNeal collection. And as I always say, just tell them first sent you. That leads me to my next question then. Okay. Perfect segue. Who y'all think is the biggest threat to us in the SWAC? Okay. And I know how y'all feel about all these other suckers. I know y'all feel like really ain't nobody fucking with us. You feel me? But objectively, as historians and analysts, who y'all think, yeah, they might got shot. I'll start with you this time, Doc.
The folks gonna hate me for saying they nickname. Baton Rouge Tech, aka Southern University. I think they are a threat. You gotta understand after the FAMU game, they lost the game 24-6. They went on a tear in the conference, especially on the western side of the division, to get themselves into the SWAC championship with a first-year head coach. Full-time, first-year, full-time head coach. Let's get that correct right there.
Okay.
But I look at them being a threat. We always gonna say Alabama State. You always gonna say FAMU, but it's like Kendrick Lamar. It's fuck the big three. It's big me. I don't care about anybody else. What anybody say.
Right. Zo, I saw you shaking your head up there, man. What?
I was about to say, I don't look at Alabama State like a threat at all. I'm gonna say, for me, I think there are 3 significant threats to Jackson State.
Okay.
Typically, I'm not gonna give the answer to say Jackson State is his biggest threat against themselves. That kind of goes without saying for every team. Right. The 3 biggest measuring sticks that I believe will have this upcoming season. We have 2 in the division and 1 on the other side, right? And in the division, it kind of goes without saying, it's going to be FAMU, just because regardless of what they have, FAMU has the talent and they match up well with Jackson State, right? So I'd be remiss if I didn't sit there and say Florida A&M. Do they have question marks? The biggest reason why you could put Jackson State over them is because, again, they're bringing in a new quarterback. They haven't seen what they have at the helm. And again, until they show an ability to stop the run, which is what they couldn't. And our greatest asset is the fact that we can run the ball the way that we can. So we pose a threat to them, but they have enough talent, you know what I'm saying, to be a thorn in the side. And that game still, be it as it may, has determined the winner of the conference the past 4 seasons, right? Mm-hmm. So after then, I actually go to Alabama A&M, the Bulldogs in Huntsville. The reason why I go there is because when you look at the hire of Sam Shade, it mirrors, outside of him not being an alumnus of that school, it mirrors T.C. Taylor at Jackson State. When you talk about Sam Shade is from Birmingham, coached at Miles just down the road, and Miles is nowhere from Huntsville. Having those inroads to recruiting, and did a great job on the recruiting front. And unlike T.C. Taylor, the cupboard was not bare in Huntsville. They had a pretty dang on good roster. Mm-hmm. Now, unfortunately, they brought in, I would like to think one of the better quarterbacks within the conference, but he's been known now deemed to be ineligible. But again, if Alabama A&M can find any semblance of continuity at the quarterback position, they're going to be a serious thorn, not just in Jackson State side, but in the entire conference, because they're going to get back to Alabama A&M football, running the ball, hard-nosed defense. They have the players right there now at their disposal to, I really believe, in his first year to make some noise in the conference. Now, when I get over to the other side, I have to agree with Doc. I'm bullish on Southern, unlike a lot of other people. And the reason for that is I would be hypocritical if I didn't sit there and give Southern kudos and Terrence Graves for the job that they did in year 1, no matter how it looked. Because if I take you back to year 1 of T.C. Taylor, we had the overhaul of team, of those players, and we ended up going 7-4. We look at Terrence Graves in year 1. You end up going 9-5 and make it to the SWAC championship game. Now, we all know that every team makes its biggest jump in a new program from year 1 to year 2. And I think we become prisoners of the moment in how it looked. Yeah, they may have won some games that they got lucky in. But what you also see is a team that wins games that they're supposed to lose. Mm-hmm. That's something to build on in year 2. Mm-hmm. Because now that same team, when they get in close games, they've been through the fire and they're well tested. So they have metal. They got some scar tissue. A lot of teams in that division don't. And so now you go into year 2, and again, every team in that division has questions at quarterback. But Southern has defensive player of the year, and he's a dog. He's a record. And you need that in this league. Because guess what? If you have instability at quarterback, and I got a record on the line of scrimmage, that's a recipe to win some games in my favor. Also, they bring in the running back they got it from LSU. Holly is no joke. He is as advertised. If that line can block, and as we know, look, I don't care how much football changes, 3 things stand true. If you can run the ball, play good defense, and limit your turnovers, you're going to win a lot of games. Southern wants to run the ball. They bring in Cam McCoy, which I think is a good move because though he may not be the greatest passer, he fits what they want to do on offense, and he's a weapon with his leg. You factor that Southern had a good defense, literally right there behind ours. And in this league, you don't have to have the best defense, but you need to have a top 3 defense. Southern has that. So again, with that being said, also we played them at home. We've had success at Baton Rouge, but never mind, it's still a tough place to play, and it's on the road. And so for that, they're going to be a serious thorn in our side.
Okay. All right. Moving on there. Next one. Let's talk about some folks that trying to copy us, man. Okay. Clearly trying to copy us. Okay. Because you had folks act like Desean was the first NFL player in the SWAC. That was bullshit. Okay. We know that was bullshit. But trying to go get a guy who has some celebrity status and has no goddamn experience, it's clear that they trying to copy us, okay? And that is Norfolk State and Delaware State. So what are y'all predictions for Vick and Desean over there in the MEAC? Do you think that they gonna be able to reproduce some of our magic? Zo, I'll start with you.
No, they won't recreate what was done at Jackson State, right? Because at the end of the day, it's only one prime. And Desean Sanders, for all his work, is a lightning rod, right? But also, neither one of those programs are Jackson State.
Yeah.
And so it was a perfect marriage. But do I like the hires? I do. I like both hires for different reasons, right? Michael Vick, homegrown guy, but he's not a lightning rod. He's not a vocal person, very laid back. It's a whole different whole different temperature, you know what I'm saying, to that move.
Would you say his game is way flashier than how he talks, how he carries himself? Like Prime played flashy and talks flashy.
Well, that's what we get to. Michael Vick, what he is as a coach and as a person, he's a reserved person. He's not a lightning rod. So, and he's not on the field playing. So, but again, he has cachet though. Because his name kind of goes out there, but that's where it starts and where it ends, right? But I like the hire. He's in his backyard, and the 757 is a loaded, fertile area for recruiting, and they got some talent on their roster. He did a damn good job recruiting, damn good job in the portal. Had a really, really good first class. Do I think they'll make some noise this year? I expect for them to clip somebody in the MEAC. And it's different when you say clip somebody in that conference as opposed to any other conference, right? Because we're talking about losing one game, but we have to bear in mind it's only 5 conference games in that league. So one win is major. It equates to like 3 in our conference, right? Or any other conference. So just think, if you got 2 teams with 1 loss, which could easily happen with 1 loss in 5 games, now you're talking about co-champions. So I got Central picked to win, but I do expect Delaware State and Norfolk State to win a game or 2 in this first season. It's not far-fetched. Delaware State, I'm more bullish on Delaware State than I am Norfolk State because Desean Jackson, great staff around him. They will have the fastest team in the MEAC by far. If you look at what he did on the recruiting trail, look at how many guys went across from C to C. California made it all over to Delaware. And Desean Jackson is from the Moore League, which is a great league in the Long Beach area. When you talk about Milliken, Jordan, Long Beach Poly, Lakewood, all these schools, it's getting players from those leagues over to Delaware State. Then you get the transfer quarterback out of Sacramento State, who is a dog, right? Easily going to be one of the best quarterbacks in that conference in year 1. But again, I'm not sitting there saying they're going to win the MEAC in year 1 because, again, still that's a tough thing to do when there's going to be a learning curve, right? It's on-the-job training. But do I believe they'll clip somebody in year 1? Yeah, I do. So I'm going to say something here. Don't be shocked if there's a 3-way tie for the conference crown in year 1 of this upcoming season in MEAC. and it's a very MEAC thing because even Central, when they played us that year, they were co-champions.
Yeah,
when we played them. So and the MEAC, the last time North Carolina A&T went to the Celebration Bowl, they were co-champions. When North Carolina Central lost to Grambling in the Celebration Bowl, there was a 3-way tie for first place that year. So with less teams, it's more likely that it can happen. I can see easily where Delaware State, Norfolk State, North Carolina Central, as well as South Carolina State clip each other. But I don't think it's going to be a 4-way tie. I do expect co-champions this year, though, in some shape, form, or fashion in the MEAC. So I like both hires. Interested to see how it's going to go. But yeah, I see them being a major player in the conference in year one. Yes, I do. Not saying they're going to be in contention for the championship, but they'll have say-so in who does.
Okay, Doc, I saw you shaking your head in agreement a little bit over there, man. What do you think?
Well, Michael Vick, he's not a flashy guy, but he was flashy on that field. So
he was that now.
He was that. I don't consider him a celebrity hire.
And on the video game, I got a point. You always got to
yeah. I can't get about him. Now, when I was in my Madden playing days, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You gotta that was your cheat code right there.
Lord.
But nah, I don't look at him being a celebrity hire or anything like that. I just look at him being a man that came back to his hometown, with actually still living in his hometown. They just got the call and say, "Hey, can you come coach this team right here?" Desean Jackson, on the other hand, him still being in that Philadelphia area, and actually he has the connections in that Philly area where when he played for the Eagles. I think is one of the things that can benefit him, plus him being from California, being from Long Beach, getting those kids from from SoCal to come over to Delaware, all the way over to Dover, Delaware, go play football. I mean, don't get me wrong. Remember, Deshaun's first recruit came from us. Kobe Boykin was the first recruit that Desean Jackson got out of the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. So just remember that. But at the same time, when you look at it, both of them bringing in new quarterbacks, and pretty much everybody in the conference bringing in a new quarterback except for Central. Walker Harris he's the incumbent starter that's coming in. My thing is that for Norfolk, basically, your recipe is run the ball. You have a very good running back for Norfolk State in Kevin King. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He could go out there and give you 1,000 yards easily. What you saw last season when he played on live TV, prime time against FAMU, he had over 100. He had over like 120 some yards in the game. They just stopped running the ball with him. The issue with Norfolk would be the defense, and can they get pressure on QBs? Can they get stops in the backfield this season? That's the issue with Norfolk State. Delaware State is a whole different issue because you don't really see a lot. You don't really hear about a lot of winning with Delaware State, except for back in the 80s and the early 90s and stuff like that. With Norfolk State, it's the same thing. Really, they only had like six, 7 winning seasons in their whole history of football. But with Michael Vick being back at home in that 757, it is a fertile ground for a lot of athletes to come out of there. We talking about Lawrence Taylor, Ronald Curry. You talking about Allen Iverson, Aaron Brooks. You gotta
some names now.
Bruce Smith. Let's keep naming Bruce Smith. You got a lot of players that come out of there, and I think kids wanted to go play for these coaches right here. But in the MEAC, to me, I don't even have Central winning the conference, only because of the simple fact that I want to see what they could do without the bell cow running back that they had last season. He's over at Virginia now. I want to see if Walker Harris can actually lead the team. I want to see if South Carolina State can repeat their dominance and the success that they had without Eric Phoenix. To me, also, I want to see what Morgan State does with a full, healthy defensive roster with probably the best defensive player in that league in Eric Hunter. So there is a lot of question marks. And then you talk about MEAC football. Like I said, they only got 5 games in conference, but they got 7 games out of conference. And their conference season starts late in the season. Mm-hmm. We talking about not even on September. We talking about mid-October. Mid-October. But mid-October all the way to November is like rock'em sock'em robots.
Yeah. Well, while I got both of y'all historians on here, Zo, you said something that made me think. Okay. And I'm sure other people have asked this, but I want to ask y'all. Why do y'all think the MEAC is so damn stubborn when it comes to just doing a damn championship game? Everybody does a championship game. Well, we talking FBS or whatever, and you get the money. It's such a money thing, to have a championship game. Why are they so stubborn when it comes to that?
Because the moment that you have a championship game, you forego going to the playoffs. And the MEAC was dead set at the time on solely going to the playoff. It just so happened when they agreed to come to the Celebration Bowl, they had already lost teams. And so thus, the rule is you have to have a minimum of 10 teams to go to division, so you can't have a championship game. And so being they always have 8, teams, and they start to lose those, you see what I'm saying? They just kind of it went away from that. And again, they've added teams. You think about adding Savannah State and then not working out. Also Winston-Salem State, and then they end up going back down. So they've tried it. It just didn't work out. And now they've lost other teams. Then it got us to here. But they're because of natural things happening. I think now the hands may be forced to where I think the universe is going to work in our favor. It's a possibility, some things happen with some other teams where they may be forced to have to join the MEAC. And thus in doing so, they can actually get up to 10 teams. Right now, I know that you want to get to 8 if possible, which would be a good solid number, right? Especially when in relation to the SWAC. But if some other things change and you're able to have a possible thing where you can have a Clark Atlanta move up, or possibly have, Virginia State move up, and they can actually get that to happen, or any 3 institutions, or if you get some teams who decide to make their way back, and you can get to 10 teams, I can assure you, with them being in the Celebration Bowl now, they will actually go to the format of having the championship game because they all see the benefit of the Celebration Bowl now. Trust me when I tell you. But if you sing his praises, and they all know it to be true. I never understood why anybody wanted to go to the playoffs just on the sake of saying we want to win, but it's a money pit. At the end of the day, we compete, but it's a business first.
No doubt. Doc, anything to add on that?
To me, it's always going to come down to the leadership of the conference in the MEAC. You got a commissioner who's dead set on keeping 6, it's 8 because you got the 2 basketball playing schools, but to keep 6 teams where they could have hollered at Chicago State for next season when they actually get their season started up to bring them in the conference, but Chicago State decided to go to the Northeast Conference for football. We've always flirted with the fact of having Virginia State move up. That's a natural rivalry between them and Norfolk State because Norfolk State is like the little brother for Virginia State. You also have some other schools in the CIAA that can actually move up. You can get yourself like a Fayetteville State that can move up because of the it being close to the military bases out there. We always flirt with Tuskegee, Clark Atlanta, especially Clark Atlanta because of the money that they have. You look at a conference that had at least 12 teams in it, and at one point in time, where you had, like you said, Winston-Salem State moved up to Division I. They didn't really get the ground going because of finances, so they moved back down to the CIAA. Same thing with Savannah State. Savannah State moved up to Division I. They didn't have the kind of money like that. They moved down to the SWAC. Then you lose out on Hampton. They go to the, they moved to the Big South, and then they, now you move to the Big South. They moved to the CAA. You had North Carolina A&T move to the Big South. Well, they could have stayed in the Big South, but they wanted, as far as the travel, they moved to the CAA. But now when you look at it in the CAA, you got teams like Richmond going to the Patriot League. You got Delaware went FBS. You had James Madison that went FBS. You got schools like Bryant coming in that really not too much on football. So you got all these schools in that conference that's wanted to leave out, take their ball and go home. Now, if you look at a team like William and Mary, that really shuts that conference down. Or a team like Villanova really could survive off of being an independent because they get their money from straight up basketball. Yeah. When you think about it, the reason why A&T and Hampton moved because of travel logistics, but you got to travel up to Maine to go play football. You got to travel to New Hampshire to go play football. So that really don't even make no sense right there. Where you could have stayed in the MEAC. The MEAC could have went to divisions where, like you said, it really controls the travel logistics. That's the reason why FAMU and Bethune-Cookman left, because they didn't want to travel all the way to Delaware all the time. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to go to Coppin State or to Princess Anne in Maryland to go play UMES. So in basketball, so that's the reason why they move. And the same thing when you're talking about Tennessee State. Look at what Tennessee State going through. You got Tennessee Tech leaving out of OVC. You have 4 teams in that conference that's leaving out. So what did they say about your team right there?
Sound like everybody need to bring their ass on home, and we had this mega goddamn conference and let us whoop everybody's ass. That would be great. I would love to see that. Are you a fan of the illustrious Jackson State University? Well, you need to download Stop Hating on Thee by yours truly, First Letter. It's a song inspired by the coach, T.C. Taylor. Check it out right here. We were winning SWAC back in 1961. Walter Payton, one of the very best to ever run. FCS attendance leaders, we been doing that. Don't care about you haters talking shit up in them chats. Everybody know we SWAC and got the pedigree to prove it. Visited the vet, they say this shit was like a movie. Can't forget the goats, I'm talking about the boom. You might as well get ready when we walk into the room. Say I got a new rule, please listen to me. I ain't dissing your school, gon' be where you be. But if you go on social media, it's easy to see that there's a lot of motherfuckers be hating on thee. Stop hating on thee, stop hating on thee, stop hating on thee, stop hating on thee. Say I got a new rule, stop hating on thee. I ain't dissing your school, but stop hating on thee. Let's keep this thing moving in. Cause this is the one out of all the questions I got for y'all that I'm really anxious to hear the answer, because I know y'all are historians. Okay, I keep saying that, and because I marvel at that shit. I'm not one of these motherfuckers who sit up here and I like to see people who can educate me on shit. You know what I'm saying? I like that shit, and y'all boys can go take that shit back to the 1920s and goddamn can predict what the fuck finna happen in the 2020s. I love it. So I'm gonna start with Zo on this. Okay. Where does T.C. Taylor currently rank in the all-time pantheon of JSU coaches? Okay, right now, and when it's all said and done, where do you ultimately think he's going to end up? All right. So where you think, where you got him at right now, the man got a black natty in that back pocket already. Okay. When it's all said and done, where you think he going to rank?
Well, what I'll say right now, I have him. I have him at 6th place right now.
Okay, talk to me. I'm interested in this shit.
All right. So as it stands right now, and I have them listed in order. So number one, now there's a Mount Rushmore, so TC just out on the edge of it. He's coming in number 6, right? So he will be what we consider honorable mention. So we bear in mind this is his 3rd season with 7-4 his first year. And then, you know, we go on, we win the SWAC, and he goes undefeated in conference play and wins the national championships in year 2. Where I would put TC is honorable mention, slated for number 6. Number 1 goes to W.C. Gordon without saying we know why, right?
Right.
All-time wins leader in Jackson history, and they won 8 titles in 10 years, right? Constant player. Well, we have to talk about who W.C. Gordon came up behind. He came up behind who? Bob Hill. He was on Bob Hill's staff, and then I'm segueing up to head coach. Got Bob Hill as number 2 in Jackson State lore, right? Bob Hill only had 1 losing season in his history at Jackson State. Has 4 SWAC titles. His second most SWAC titles in Jackson State history. Coming in at number 3rd, a lot of people never talk about this, but it's a head coach that never had a losing season when he left Jackson State. That's Big John Merritt. Big John Merritt at Jackson State won 3 SWAC titles. Only had 1 losing season at Jackson State, and was the first head coach in the HBCU ranks to leave a school and take his OC and DC with him, as well as some players. I just think if John Merritt never leaves Jackson State, what Jackson State would have been, because he left to go to Tennessee State and never had a losing season ever. Right? So after John Merritt, now it's going to raise some eyebrows. I got Desean Sanders.
Over Big Daddy. Oh, you got to talk to him.
I got him over Big Daddy, and I'm going to tell you why. You got to look at where Jackson State was when Desean Sanders took over. All right? And then look what it became. And still, in two seasons, because I'm going to do like him, we don't really count the spring. It happened, but we all know that he used it for practice to get ready for that fall. We all know it, right? The record still stands, but still, he used that to warm up, to preview for the fall. And so Desean Sanders, still as it may, in his first 3 seasons as a head coach, won 2 SWAC titles in 3 years. And, oh, by the way, went undefeated in conference play both years. All right? So only Bob Hill had a better record to start his career at Jackson State. Only Bob Hill did. Only difference is Desean Sanders was undefeated. Bob Hill never had an undefeated season at Jackson State.
Okay.
W.C. Gordon never had an undefeated season at Jackson State. Right? So Coach Prime was the first one to do it. So I got to put him there. Also, again, 2 conference championships and to get to a bowl game, he lost. But W.C. Gordon never won a playoff game. So his postseason record is not good. Right? Be as it may. And then, like I said, coming at 5, I got James Big Daddy Carson. Now, I want to say something to you. Outside of Desean Sanders, the lineage goes like this. Bob Hill, segue to W.C. Gordon, segue to James Carson. And those 3 coaches are in, you know what I'm saying, right there in the pantheon of greats of Jackson State football, and they were all on each other's staff. That's how that tree was. So when you talk about Judge, right? Judge comes from the Bob Hill tree. So you think about all that winning Jackson State did, because Judge, no matter how people feel about him, Judge coached 4 seasons at Jackson State and never had a losing record.
Sure did.
With 7-4, 4 straight years. And that still comes from under the Bob Hill tree. So where I would put TC is number 6. Now, here's where things get interesting. TC Taylor wins the SWAC this year, wins the Celebration Bowl this year.
Talk to me.
I put TC at number 4. Now he's on the Mount Rushmore. Now I'll tell you why.
Okay.
TC Taylor will have won 2 conference titles in his first 4 seasons, 2 national championships. He surpasses Desean Sanders because he would have tied Desean Sanders in conference titles, but he got 2 national championships on his resume. So he leapfrogs Desean Sanders at that point. Okay. And the only people that he's looking up to, Big John Merritt, Bob Hill, and W.C. Gordon. Now, Bob Hill is there because he would have had 2 more conference titles over TC. But TC's record, and let's just say, for example, let's say we mirror last year, right? Let's say the difference is we have 11 games. Let's say we go 10-1 in the regular season, win a SWAC championship game, that's 11-1. Win a national championship, you're 12-1. Take 12-1 to what we did last year. In 2 years, TC will have won double-digit games in his first 3 seasons. I'm sorry, in his first 3 seasons. Bob Hill didn't do that. W.C. Gordon didn't do that. James Carson didn't do that. Big John Merritt didn't do that. Now, to your last question, where do I think he can go? It's a 2-part answer, and I'll tell you why. Because of the landscape of college football right now, we don't really have coaches staying at one place 10 plus years. Okay. So I'm going to say my first answer is that TC will probably end up being the 2nd greatest coach in Jackson State history. But a caveat to that, and I'll go on a limb and say, if TC Taylor coaches at Jackson State for 12 years or more, he will no doubt become the all-time winningest coach in Jackson State history.
This man making news up here today. Man making news. Doc, talk to me now. This man here got me turned. Because see, I got here in 84. I got here during the W.C. Gordon era, but I was just a baby first. You feel me? I don't remember none of that. Oh, so what he's telling me is that I have a chance to witness history. You feel me?
Yeah.
And before you say anything, if you go back to Tiger Talk, the day that we announced TC Taylor is going to be hired as the head coach, you can go back and pull it up now. I said it then. I said TC Taylor as the head coach at Jackson State will be the closest thing that we've seen to W.C. Gordon since he was on the sideline.
You said it on my show.
I sure did. And I also said that when he gets here, not only is he going to win, I said he's going to dominate. I said it. And I'm telling you, if he stays 12 years, because he's on pace now. And he has a cheat code, because when we talk about postseason play, we didn't have a SWAC championship game back then. We didn't have a bowl game to go to. So again, if TC gets to the point where he won 3 or 4 national championships, you know what I'm saying? He may not have that
year. How you get to 12 years instead of like 10 or something like? Well, how'd you arrive at that year? What made you choose that year?
Well, the reason why I say 12 is because, let me just go on the record. Now, unless TC Taylor becomes the SWAC version of Nick Saban, it's going to be hard pressed to win 8 titles in 10 years. That's what W.C. Gordon did, right? It's going to be hard to do that, right? I said that it can't be done because if something's been done before, records are meant to be broken. But that's in a 10-year span. You don't have to do it in 10.
Okay.
If I do it in 12 or 13, I can clip that.
Okay. All right. I hear you. Talk to me, Doc. Now, y'all boy turning me up over here. What say you?
Oh man, number 1 to me gonna be W.C. Gordon again. I mean, shit, record speaks for itself. 8 out of 10.
It does.
Then it's coaching in school history. There's nothing that you really can't beat that. Now, I would say, to me, I guess I would put, in my opinion, I would put Big John Merritt at number 2. You know, cause because he started it all to us right there. You know, he started the whole thing, and of course he took his ball, he took his coach, he took some players, went up to Nashville, to Tennessee State, and kicked everybody's ass for over 20 years. In no conference, he was an independent. He was an independent. The Tennessee A&I, let's put it just like that. It was an independent. So he was out there kicking everybody's ass. Of course, I'm gonna put Bob Hill at number 3. especially with the team that he had with you got 4 Hall of Famers on damn near on one team.
Crazy, man. That shit crazy.
You know,
they didn't expect when they had him.
When they had him. Yeah, they won the flag. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Desean at number 4. Diaz and May, like I said, to me, I really don't count the spring season, but it is on his record right there, you know, going 4-3. But you know, like I said, you better catch me now. That's what he said. That was his words.
That's what he said.
He said, you better catch me now, because when the fall comes, it's gonna be, you know, like you said, to me, I said it's gonna be hell on earth. And when he came back with that souped up roster, hey, it's like a Ferrari going down, you know what I'm saying? Ferrari just driving, just cruising. And then the second year, you know, going undefeated, and getting to the Celebration Bowl. But the only knocks on him is that he didn't win the chip in both of those seasons.
Do y'all think, because I know what some real ones gonna say, because hell, I'm thinking it, you know, because Big Daddy Carson got the national championship. But do y'all think if we were still under that old model of the media picking it, do you think the media would not have given us the national championship? You know, I'm sure we were favored going into those Celebration Bowls, you know what I'm talking about? And it's Desean Sanders as our coach. You think if we were under that old model that he would have ended up with 2 black national championships?
If it was picked by the media, like if the Sheridan was to pick, but you know, was to be picking, yeah, they probably would have picked us. They probably would have said it'd been the co-national championship.
Well, you guys do know that we technically still won a championship with 22. You do know that.
Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the reason why we got 5.
Hold on, what we doing here? Are we doing? We ain't doing what fam you and them did.
No. We're not giving it to ourselves.
Okay.
We technically still won a championship through a publication in 22.
Really?
What
publication was that?
I'm unsure, but it's I can pull it up. I can pull it up. I can pull it up and actually tell you.
See, we got so much pride. We don't even do what these motherfuckers did.
We don't.
I just saw one of these PWIs. They up here, what is it? Auburn claiming some shit from back in the 40s and 50s. I just saw that came out. Okay.
But then I go with Big Daddy, and then I go with TC afterwards.
Okay.
Big Daddy coming in after, you know, W.C. Gordon and doing what he's doing, especially during his rise, during the rise of Southern under Pete Richardson. And he still had to deal with the legendary Eddie Robinson over at Grambling. Alabama State, I think Alabama State won the chip in 1991. You got to put Big Daddy up in there, and then you put TC right behind him. Like I said, if he comes in, go 10-1. Let's say we go 10-1, win SWAC championship, and go to the Celebration Bowl and win the Celebration Bowl again. Yes, you leapfrog. He leapfrogged his former head coach. You know what I'm saying? And he leapfrogs Desean Sanders, and I'll put him at I put him at number 3. And then of course I will put Judge right behind, because you got to understand Judge did take us to the first SWAC championship in 1999. And he never, like he said, he never had a losing season as a head coach. Now I remember when, here's the funny thing, when I was in school, I remember Judge, of course he was coaching the O-line, but he was also one of the physical education teachers at Jackson State. So I remember taking PE, and just as a course. And he was my teacher, man.
How was he as a teacher?
Nah, he was cool. He was laying back. Okay. I even asked, when he became the head coach, I asked him questions like, "Coach, what's going on? What I'm saying? What's up with the defense?" Like,
you didn't know. You already started your journalistic journey already.
Yeah, I was already a broadcast journalist amazing.
Oh, okay, shit. So, I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I got there, that was my major, mass comm.
Oh, okay.
Broadcast journalism, and y'all
were made to do this shit. What we talking about? Okay.
I was a mass comm major, Jackson.
I came in, with I remember coming in. That's the reason why Rob J is one of my favorites. I remember meeting Burt Bell. That man taught me a lot. He taught us a lot of things in my colloquial class. So yeah, man. But hey, Judge was a real one. And he'll tell you like it is. But he, you know what I'm saying, he had a heart of gold. But when it came down to a football team, like he was no nonsense with a football team. I think if would have stayed, if Jerry Mack would have stayed, and John Shannon would have stayed on staff. Well, Jerry Mack was a player, but John Shannon would have stayed on staff. I think we would have won a couple more national championships with him.
I think a lot of people know too that last year that John Shannon was here, Jackson, they got ranked all the way up to in the top 5 in the country. We got as high as number 4 in the country that last year to John Shannon. But I did find that publication, man. It's BCSN, and they claimed and they gave us a national championship in 2021.
Shout out to Dr. Cavill.
Shout out. All right, moving on real quick to some NFL. Y'all know we got some Jacksonians in the league, you know what I'm talking about. And the one who every station there is and every podcast there is talking about, of course, is Shedeur. Now, just yesterday, Pro Football Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson made news with a report. He says he got good sources, and he did transition into the media, so I got to call it a report. Okay. He reported that NFL teams indeed were told not to draft Shedeur Sanders. Doc, what's your reaction to the news?
I believe it wholeheartedly. I think 32 teams colluded to block the drafting of Shedeur because they said they feel like they want to teach him a lesson. They want to humble him. Really, it's really they want to humble his daddy in every sense, every fashion. You don't hear too much from Shiloh because, of course, Shiloh was undrafted. Shiloh, who he is. But with Shedeur, because Shedeur has the bigger name in college football last season, being QB for Colorado. It was just basically wanted to humble him and let him know that you nor your father is going to try to run the league or try to run this team right here. We are the ones that's going to run it. You see what's going on in the preseason, especially with the Saints. You drafted a QB, Tyler Shaw from Louisville. You see how he is now, where you could have had Shedeur right there in that spot. I think Shedeur would definitely, if he was in New Orleans, he would definitely fit in with that offense with Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is offensive mind, came in as an offensive coordinator. He would have definitely fit in.
One of your boys with them Cowboys. The guy, they didn't.
Right.
I love them Cowboys now.
Hey, y'all know about it. But he was, he's an OC with the Cowboys, former quarterback with the Cowboys. But he's now the head coach of the Saints. I think he would have fit right in. You see it as far as with the Pittsburgh Steelers had it 3 times in the draft earlier to where they could have drafted Shedeur Sanders, but you gonna wait on for a overrated old ass Aaron Rodgers to come in and save your franchise. And I feel like this is where it might put Mike Tomlin in a headlock right here as a head coach.
Hold on. We breaking news here. You think this might cause Mike to finally have his first losing season, maybe?
I think it would. I think it would. I think it would. And that's just my opinion, y'all. We talking, and then getting the news from Eric Dickerson. We talk about Eric Dickerson, formerly of SMU Pony Express. The man said he lost money when he got into the league.
That's what he said.
Because of what happened when he was at SMU. Eric Dickerson can be a lightning rod when it comes to what he say, but he means what he say about what's going on, and we all saw it. Look, we all saw it firsthand that they didn't want Shedeur to be in this league. Mm-hmm. And then the Browns getting him in the 5th round. He's better than Dylan Gabriel. He's way better than Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is on his last leg. He riding the rubbers off the tire. And he sure is better than Kenny Pickett. And he costs way less than Deshaun Watson.
I was about to ask you about that boy that love them massages and them happy endings.
He's cheaper. He's cheaper than Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. And just what he's doing, being professional. Like you see him in the media when he does his press conference. He's being professional. He's being he's media trained. But I know there is some frustration that why like he's asking himself, why are they doing this to me? In a sense. But we all know. We know that what's going on. Your daddy ain't running shit over here. Put it like that. You can have all the flashy shit and everything, but your daddy ain't running shit over here. That's it. That's all. So I think that it really did. It was collusion. And if I'm Roger Goodell, I'm looking into it, like, because that's something serious, that's something major.
So, what you think, man, on Eric Dickerson's so-called report? I'm calling it a report because that's what the media called it, even though it ain't like Eric Dickerson is Bob Costas or no shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? But he is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. He probably does have some sources. So there it is. What do you think?
Man, first off, water's wet. That's what I gotta say to it. Water's wet. I mean, look like a duck, quack like a duck. It ain't a mongoose. We saw what it was to begin with, man. And so, it's a lot that we can actually say to this, right? And what that is we move around in this world as if like racism doesn't exist, or this is nothing more. It's not a new story. It's an old story. Hey, we're gonna do something to put this boy in this place. And your dad. Mm-hmm. What Desean Sanders has done since he's been a college coach, and with his son coming out to enter the draft, not early, but as a senior, is nothing more than the same thing Archie Manning did for Eli. Mm-hmm. So it's good when they do it, it's a problem we do it. And again, all he was the father looking out for his son's best interest, saying that he was skeptical because he wanted to put his son in the best case scenario for success. Meaning that if certain teams were to draft him, he said we may have to pull an Eli. That's exactly what he said. Now, why would you say we're going to pull an Eli? Because that would suggest that Eli did it before. And Eli didn't represent himself. His father spoke for him. His father's quiet. He's a docile speaking person, but that's just in front of the lens. We don't know how he is behind the camera, and this is no shade at them. You know, it could be all good people by all accounts. But what I'm saying, it was good for the goose is good for the gander. If they can do it, we should be able to do it too. But it's a problem we do it. That's all it is too. And so again, for anybody who can hear my voice too, it kind of gives you an actual when people say, all I need is just an opportunity. Well, it depends, because everybody's opportunity is not the same. Because does he really have a tangible opportunity? Right now, if you can hear my voice, you can't say that he does.
Right.
You know, because you sit there, even with the way he's performed at practice, and by all accounts, the first game, he should be running with the ones as it is now. But he's not. But he's not. And we know, and look, let's keep it a book, man. Cleveland gonna mess this up. They're not gonna do right, because we gotta stop moving under the guise as if like this is a fair, legit opportunity for Shedeur. It's not. The moment people realize that, the better off they'll be. But again, but like all things that black folks get in this country, he has to do the best with what he got. This is nothing more than Shedeur got a castrated hog and he's making the best out of it. He came into this country making lemonade out of lemons. Shedeur just got a real big lemon by being with the Cleveland Browns. It's a tainted one though. So the thing is again, what constitutes a real opportunity? And as black folk in this country, we never really truly know what that is until it gets to the end of that road. Because we go into something blind or with our eyes open and think this is the opportunity God afforded me. But we don't really know how valid the opportunity is, because you never know that till later on down the line. It was just like, man, they ran a fast one on me. But I just played what? The hand that I was dealt. That's all the Shedeur can do right now. So again, I love what he's doing. Going to practice, because that's what black folk do, right? We go up, put our best foot forward, no matter how it comes to me. Be the best, exceedingly and abundantly being the best that we could be over everybody else. And to this point, that's what he's done. You heard the comments that one of his coworkers said about him. He got asked about it. I think he gave a marvelous answer to it, right? I'm not going to feed into that, because if I feed into that, there's something else that you're going to use against me to keep me from trying to go.
Are y'all buying Dylan Gabriel's excuse about
I don't have to hear what Shedeur said in relation to it. He pretty much told you. He just said, oh, okay, kept it moving. You know what I said? You know what I would say? Oh, okay. He asked him about it. He said what he said. Like, oh, okay. And just kept it moving because we know what it is. It's bull job.
And for those viewers who may have missed that, maybe y'all might not be as locked in as we are, so I apologize. Should have that. Dylan Gabriel, who's above Shedeur in the depth chart right now, said something to the effect of some people are here for entertainment, and I'm here to compete. Now, he came back and tried to say he was talking about the media is there for entertainment, whereas the players are there to compete. But y'all do with that what you will.
But guess what? That's not worth me mentioning. That's not worth me talking about, because my eyes on the prize. I got someplace I'm trying to get to, whether it's a real opportunity or it's a fake one. But all I can do is control what I can control, and that's my effort and how I handle this. So if God does somehow grant me a real opportunity, I'm going to be prepared to seize it. That's a word in all of that. So my only regret in all of this, I wish that Al Davis was alive, because Al Davis would have no doubt selected Shedeur Sanders, because he loves to stick it to the NFL, right? Love to suit him all the time. And he would have drafted, the Raiders need a quarterback. He would have sure enough drafted. And Mark Davis
told him not to do it. He would have said, fuck y'all, I'm doing it.
And Mark Davis isn't a rogue like his dad, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is too, again, it just, all this does is create more fans for Shedeur. God is working in his favor, because again, I slide down to the field, I get picked, I sign this horrible deal, but I'm smart enough to leverage who I am with the apparel deal that I have. Do you know who has the highest selling jersey in the entire NFL? Not rookies, the entire NFL. It's Shedeur Sanders. So again, when a door closed, I promise you God opened a window. And so Shedeur is going to thrive, man, because like all things, he was nothing. He thought he was going to die, man, but he was a seed. All he doing is blooming. Only thing that the NFL is doing, and all these people, these naysayers, all they're doing is providing fertilizer. My boy is going to grow and benefit through this, man. I was already a Shedeur fan, I'm even more of a fan day by day when he go through this bull job. And I really don't see how anybody with any type of melanin in their skin could really be against him. Because when you see this for what it is, it's truly, it's a travesty. We talk about meritocracy. When tell me the last time I checked, I go out here and I play a game, I'm the bottom of the totem pole. I can't go no lower.
Mm-hmm.
I go out here and I have a game, I throw 2 touchdowns, have a great showing. I don't even believe he has an oblique injury, to be honest with you guys. I really don't. I really believe they set him down. I truly do.
They're going to play him tonight, though.
Look, I truly don't believe he had an oblique injury. But guess what? But the guy you picked above me, he just so happened to he throw 2 interceptions. One was a pick 6. But we go back to practice. We go back to work the next week. He's still over me. Okay. Keep your head down. Keep working. Because guess what? Cream going to rise to the top. And guess what? By all accounts, Shedeur is a winner. Man, listen, I have a different viewpoint being attached to the program, seeing Shedeur be the first at practice, being the last to leave, watching what I perceive or what many people will perceive to be a silver spooner, outwork blue-collar kids, is in him. I can't say this enough, man. He got it. I seen it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I needed to see. When you got a silver spoon, a kid that got everything, don't have a want for nothing, outwork and out-prepare people that ain't got nothing, it told me all I need to see is in them. We have to remember, where should it come from? It's Desean Sanders' son. Not only that, remember, it's not that Desean Sanders is one of the all-time greatest athletes, and former player.
Mm-hmm.
It's what was Desean Sanders before he became the head coach at Jackson State?
He was a high school coach.
Yeah, but that was by day. What was he really doing to get paid outside of that? He worked for NFL Network.
Yeah, on TV.
Yeah. He was working for NFL Network.
And see, that's what I'm getting at, Zoe. Okay, if Dickerson's report is right, I'm thinking, what the fuck did Desean do to piss these white folks off? Desean does not say anything controversial. He ain't saying shit about Trump. When he was here, he acted like he was cool with Phil Bryant. Like he really like Michael Jordan, don't really do shit like that. And still they reminded you black, or as Hope would say,
he went against the status quo.
Still N-word.
That's all it is. He went
like that quote you said.
That's what I'm telling you earlier. You have to understand, Desean Sanders, the way that he moves, he's actually in line and in tune with all things NFL. That's what I'm telling you. Like, he works for NFL Network. If you look at all you do is watch him. The data's there. He's in line and in tune with all the people within the NFL. So when it comes down to what he did, he hasn't done anything. It's what was said then. It's we're going to put you in your place.
Yeah.
If we're doing this to Shedeur in relations to him because you are not Archie Manning. You guys would not be what Archie Manning is, because the Mannings are called what? The first family of football.
But if you think about it with Desean Sanders, he just bucked the status quo. He's if you really think about it, look at it like this. He's like Jerry Jones. I hate to say this. I mean, because
that's your boy. That's your boy, ain't it, Doc?
Hey, man, I'll still be wanting to throw some dirt on his ass sometime, man.
I was trying to set him up to say it again. That boy, that's crazy.
But nah, man. But he's like he moves. He's a maverick. He moves like he moves to his own drum. He moves to the beat of his own drum. So it's not like. To me, I feel like the Cowboys could have went and drafted Shedeur. You know what I'm saying? But we already had QBs in place. But when you look at it, as far as with Shedeur, it's basically just trying to teach his daddy a lesson that you don't run anything over here. Like Desean said, Desean told people he's not trying to he's not wanting to coach in the NFL. Why? Because he's gonna have players that get paid more than him. It's the ego that's gonna get in the way. Because remember, we all know this. Desean came into the league in 1989. came into the league in 1989. He is old school. Like, he flashy, but when you think about it, he is old school.
Thank you, Doc. Now that's why I am with it. You hit the nail on when he talk. When he
the way he talk, he sound country, but he old school.
Yeah, when he just talking ball, he's saying a bunch of old school ball coach shit.
Like
he got on chains and shades while he doing it.
Like, you got to realize too, like he came up under Bobby Bowden as a player. Mickey Andrews was his DC. He came up under them two right there. And of course, then he come into the NFL. Jerry Glanville was his head coach. You know what I'm saying? So he got some of that gambler, that renegade type in him. He gets over to the 49ers. You know, he got George Seifert. George Seifert was a laid back coach, if you really think about it. But it was the duel, it was the battles in practice. He going up against Jerry Rice because they made each other better when he was with the 49ers for that 1 year. He comes to the Cowboys. Of course, Barry Switzer was a players coach. He was a laid back players coach. But he, you know what I'm saying? He did what he had to do. He was in tune with Mike and Emmett and Troy, but he did his own thing. I know this. When he was in Dallas, he did his own thing. The man owned the club out here. So that lets you know what he was all about. You know what I'm saying? But once he left out, like, he still was that old school type person. So he has different. He came up under different people, different personalities that made him who he is. And then when you think about when he was on when he played baseball, he getting game from George Steinbrenner because he came up with the Yankees. He gets to Atlanta. Bobby Cox is his manager. You know, it's different things about it.
If Dickerson's report is true, in my opinion, that shit just showing the level of disdain for us right now in this moment in Donald Trump's America. Because again, it ain't like Desean is Kaepernick. It ain't like Desean is Ali. The man just trying to practice Christianity with his team. He ain't no black Muslim. He ain't changed his name. The man goes fishing.
He's in tune with everything with white America.
But other than wearing the chains and the shades. Now, him saying that shit though, like you saying about the Manning family, and we know because the Manning's behind damn near all of these Netflix docs we getting now. I don't know if they behind the Cowboy one.
Nah.
But I know quarterback and receiver. Are they behind the SEC joint? I haven't watched that one yet.
No. Unless it's the SEC part on ESPN. But you look at it,
like Zo said, they love them fucking Mannings. What
you think is gonna happen when Arch come out?
I just saw something yesterday. They trying to project him as number one already. You know what I'm saying?
And he's played a total of what, maybe 4 games in his whole entire college career.
You feel me?
I think it was 6 games. And some of them was when Quinn was he was hurt.
In total. He played in 3.
Oh yeah.
He played in game when Quinn was the starter.
He should have played in that game against Ohio State when Quinn got he got his TV turned off.
Got his TV.
So people are actually saying now that they seen enough for him to deem him the number 1 pick in the draft.
That's what
So again, like we always say, we have to be all-time great to be certain things. Like I said, it's
twice as good to get half as much.
Man, look, it's 2 levels to it. So that's again, when we talk about opportunity, how valid is the opportunity?
Yeah.
And I don't think this season for next year is going to be a good quarterback draft anyway.
They trying to. I'm gonna say y'all some shit. Cause these motherfuckers trying to gas this next quarterback draft and shit. You know, it's a lot of the shit that they didn't say about this one. Now they trying to say all that stuff. You know, it's very strange what they're doing.
And so the thing, like I said, this mind-boggling that we have to pay attention to. Again, we have data. That's the one thing when people get into their feelings or give their opinion, go with facts. We have data. When was the last time you seen any quarterback that had a first round grade? I'm not talking about Mel Kiper. You can use him as a reference point if you choose to. Whether it's Phil Steele, Mel Kiper. Anytime you've seen or known networks as well, where you have any quarterback that has a first round grade, top 10 first round grade, fall to the 5th round. It's never, ever happened in NFL history. Now, are there players who you may deem to not be as good, go high, and they turn out to be bust? Yes, it happens. But there has never been a single instant that it's happened to Shedeur. It's never happened in NFL history. The league is over 100 years old. It's never, ever happened. So now you get to the why, because again, it's an anomaly. And so we hear things about, teams that think he was that good. That's bull job. Because when he has whatever your grade is and what you're rated as, it's not a thing where you see a quarterback that's rated as a top 10 pick. We've seen busts that won the Heisman. Got drafted higher. I can speak to Gino Toretta, right? We've seen Heisman quarterbacks and they come off the roof that was like, he's not good. Eric Crouch. They tell you on the front end, he's not good. He doesn't translate to being an NFL quarterback. And he gets drafted late, but he didn't have the grade. Never in the history of this league has a player with a top 10 pick grade drop down to the 5th round. And we try to get to the why. I was like, water's wet. You can see it coming from a mile away. The NFL stinks. When we talk about meritocracy, it's blasphemous for them to talk about meritocracy when they're lying to you right now. Because again, when you see what you see, again, practice. As Allen Iverson would say, we're talking about practice. What are the practices for? The practices are for you to get reps to showcase who you are in hopes of landing a job. It's just like real America. Remember, we say sports is parallel to real life. Well, guess what? I go to work every day and I show my work at work to show you how good I am in my craft. But when somebody else, the fix is in, and they're going to pretty much say, we don't care how good you are. I want so-and-so for the job. Or I just don't want you to have it. That's what this is. That's what this is. Dylan Gabriel don't even belong on the same field with Shedeur Sanders at all. Because now Dylan Gabriel, I believe, was like a 4th round grade. Right? And then you got
drafted in the 3rd round.
You see here, you go to practice, right? Shedeur, they've kept up with it. But again, when we don't like you, we want to hold on to a narrative. And I'm talking about some black folk too, because I don't like Prime, or I don't like Shedeur, or I don't like the fact that he went to Colorado, whatever it is. But again, we talk about meritocracy. You go to practice, he's been outshining them every day at practice, keeping his head down, going to work, bringing his lunch pail.
Some folks saying they looking to move him, to trade him.
I can tell you what's going to happen. They're not going to trade him.
They would, because the Browns organization just fucked up.
No, I can tell you right now, look, the fix is in. I can tell you right now, they're not going to trade him. They're going to keep him on that roster just to keep him on that roster. He will be the 3rd quarterback. He will not play unless something happens to Flacco and they're forced to, and he's going to show. But again, when they want to prove a point, they're going to prove a point. They're not going to trade him. Not going to trade him. But the Browns are going to mess this up because this is what the Browns do.
That's what the Browns fucked up.
That's the reason why Myles Garrett was trying to get up out of there so fast, but then they came out with that big ass contract.
Stupid bag on his ass, yeah.
And look, so for hints and forevermore, so when y'all see this, we refer to the Browns as the bad news Browns. That's what they'll be.
Let me go back to their nickname, their old nicknames. The Mistake by the Lake.
Shout out to the real ones in Cleveland, man. But your team been fucked up for quite a long time, y'all. But I'm gonna end on that topic with this. Let this be a reminder to all black people. Just be who the fuck you want to be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Prime ain't being who he want to be. You know what I'm talking about? By being non-controversial. I'm saying to those of y'all who might want to speak out on some shit, some of y'all who may want to be different on politics or all that kind of, just do it. Because them motherfuckers gonna show, if you say any little thing they don't like, they gonna show they don't fuck with you anyway. So just goddamn be who the fuck you want to be from the start. All right, I can't let y'all get out of here without making you put it on something, okay? This one right here, I've asked nobody else this. It is tailor-made for y'all too, okay? I call this 1996 or this, okay? So we're comparing the last two Black national championship teams to one another, okay? And all y'all gotta do, I'ma say a particular position group, you know what I'm saying? And y'all just say 1996 or this, okay?
All right.
And if you want to give me your why, feel free to do that as well. All right, let's go. 1996 or this quarterback.
1996.
Yeah. Braylon Pratt.
Braylon
Pratt.
Okay. Skill guys. So you run it back.
I'm gonna do this. You're gonna have to break up skill guys.
Okay. The only reason I didn't break it up because I had promised y'all it was gonna be 3 to 4 quick hitters. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know if y'all gonna be pressed for time. Because I could break this bitch down now.
You gotta break that down, dog.
Okay, cool. I love that even more. All right, so 1996 or this running back room.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go or this.
Okay, talk to me then.
I'm gonna go or this because when I go to 96 was top heavy.
Yeah.
So you going this as well, Doc?
Yeah, because if you really look at it, you talking about 96, Destry Wright wasn't even on the field yet.
Okay.
I forgot who was he behind, man. That's the crazy part.
You had Ducksworth. You had Destry Wright was on the team though, but you had Destry Wright, you had Ducksworth. I'm trying to think. That was Carlos Knight last year.
Carlos, yeah. And Duckworth was a running back then. They moved him to fullback the next year.
So we got a tie so far right now, all right? Because QB went to 96, running back went to this, okay, right now. All right, we're going wide receiver room. Hold on, let me go back. Let me keep up with this too. Okay, so that was 96. Yeah, we gonna and you know the real one's gonna chime in on this with y'all. You know what I'm talking about? All right, we going here. All right, wide receiver room. Talk to me. 96 or this?
I'm gonna say something controversial right now.
Oh shit!
Now this is I'm y'all listen. This is right now, August 2025.
It is.
The season ain't started yet. I'm going 96.
Ooh, we talking about before. Who?
So you got the reason why I say this wide receiver room is deep.
Right.
We go off last year, we won the national championship. Wide receiver room was good, but again, statistically, it don't compare to what 96 was at all.
Was Chris Jones on that squad? Chris Jones was on that team.
Yes, sir.
Daniel Guy.
Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Corey came in 97.
Oh, I say Story.
No, Lawrence Story.
No,
he came in 97. He came in my class.
I thought Story was in 96.
Story 97.
Daniel Guy. Torrey Thigpen.
Yep.
Robert Jacobs.
Yep.
I'm forgetting.
The name was on tip of my tongue.
I got him thinking, y'all. You see, we got him thinking.
Robert Jacobs, Daniel Guy, Torrey Thigpen. What's about Torrey Smith? What's Torrey last name? I draw a damn blank.
Well, while y'all thinking, let me ask y'all.
Look, either way it go, because if you go to the production in 96, this wide receiver room, I believe this year is hella deep.
Okay, all right, stay right there. All right. Based on that, is the door open for this team by the end of the year, if they live up to what we see on paper, can they challenge 96?
Yes.
Oh, which guy was on the team in 96 too? Cat.
Yeah, Sylvester Morris.
Sylvester Morris was on the team in 96.
Now that probably makes it a no-brainer.
First round. So, but yes, hold on. To your question, yes. This is what I'll say. 95 we were okay. 96 we put it together. But even from a passing standpoint, with what we're trying to do, Braylon Pratt that season threw, I think, for about 2,700 yards. And even that whole entire season, everybody was on him about Mark Washington.
Yep.
Big, tall quarterback coming in and was slinging it, right? And we still ran the ball quite a bit. The thing that made 96 what it was that defense, right? Just like this team, this defense, but this defense coming off a national championship brings more starters back with the wealth of experience, right? But I think this offense in 2025 potentially can be better than 96.
All right, so 96 is up 2-1 currently, okay? All right, and that's a great segue to defense/special teams.
Okay.
96 or this?
Ooh, 96 had Eric Chandler. They had some dogs on their defense.
Can I throw this in here real quick? We just want to remind y'all, Coach Quinn said the goal this year is be number one in the damn nation by far. That's what he told me.
Big Daddy did that too.
Okay.
Big Daddy did that too. Hold on. So I'm not. Hold on. Now, since we want to talk about TC Taylor,
okay.
When we talk about defense, greatest defensive coordinator in JSU history, Big Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling with Big Daddy. Anytime you got a team that start out 0-3,
okay,
and you say, I'm going to demote my DC and I'm going to take over the defense because that's my baby, and then we proceed to have the best defense in the conference and win the conference.
Then we went 9 straight after that. We went 0-3.
So what I'm telling you is I'm rolling with Big Daddy. Plus I'm biased. Man, 87 at linebacker, Richard Alvarado. I'm biased, dog. I'm biased on that one.
I'm glad for the honesty on that. Okay. But Doc, you in agreement? 96 as well on this.
Yeah, man, because that's still that 96. When I came in as a freshman, there's some folks on that 96 defense that was on the 97 team, and Big Daddy was still the head coach, but he just like Zo said, the defense was his baby right there. Like it was one of the things where remember the Titans, right? Mm-hmm. When Herman Boone said, "Fix your offense," and Yo said, "Don't touch my defense." Or I'm putting it like this. Let's talk about the youth. When Dennis Erickson came in as a head coach after Jimmy Johnson left, right? And the players told him, y'all can switch up anything you want on offense, but don't touch my defense whatsoever. Told just like that. Don't touch my defense whatsoever. So that 96 defense, don't get me wrong. The defense from last season was
he went on there. Okay.
Was hard hitting, well-oiled machine, but from start to finish, as in games, we were not all the way, put together just like that. But that 96 defense on outside.
To be honest, though, outside of FAMU last year, what potent offense did we really face in conference?
Nobody.
And so you look at what they faced in 96. Southern was a powerhouse at that time under Pete. You had some really, really good teams with some good players. We have a good offense that the defense played against at that time. Outside of Valley, because we had some battles with Alabama State at that time. You know what I'm saying? Alabama State, man, with Southern, with Grambling. It was a lot more talent on offense for that defense to face. I will say this as well too. Man, look, my teammate was a dog coming in, man. Jason Marshall at defensive end D tackle. Eric Chandler out of Starkville. I mean, Marlo Perry at linebacker. I mean, I'm telling you that 96 defense. And then you talk about, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Quincy last year was 96 or was it 95?
Quincy who?
Quincy Culbertson and Bo Lewis at DB. And then you still had, if I'm not mistaken, you still had Sean Wilson at safety.
Sean Wilson at safety, and then you had a young Rashad. You had a young Rashad Anderson coming in as a freshman.
I'm telling you, man, we were freaking nasty on defense at that time.
Can I play devil's advocate? Excuse me. And throw in. Don't forget, I said defense, special teams. So y'all know what we got at punt return and kick return with this year's team. Y'all know what that boy does. As long as he just don't flip in the end zone, we good, because that boy is liable to take one back every time. Does that add anything? Does it narrow the gap a little bit? Oh no. Okay. I'll just try to
let me tell you why.
Talk to me.
You could talk about Travis Terrell. I'm gonna raise you Torrey Thigpen.
Yeah. Shit. You ain't had to do me like that.
Torrey Thigpen, he got the touchdown. He did it.
You had to do me like that. All right. So 96 they already won. Okay, because 96 got QB. This year's team running back. Okay. Wide receivers, they went to 96. Defense special team went to 96. But I'm still gonna ask this. Head coach, 96 or this? Y'all kind of told me already earlier in your ranking.
No. I'm gonna go with this.
Yeah, because he learned. Because if you think about it, he learned from Big Daddy.
You got let me explain.
Okay, so did y'all just have them lower in the rankings just because the resume ain't there yet? Like the resume ain't stacked up yet, but just on the strength, guy to guy. Okay.
Yes, because because look, I stand on it.
Okay.
TC Taylor is the closest thing. I said Jackson State under TC Taylor will have a WC Gordon feel to it. I said that earlier. I stand by it. And guess what? With the way that we're recruiting, with how he runs this team, he has his hand in complete control over this program. He's locked in step with the AD. The fan base is reinvigorated. I'm telling you, as long as TC Taylor and Otis Riley are at Jackson University, they're going to have a say-so on who wins the SWAC. Make no mistake about it. We couldn't even say that under Big Daddy, because remember, after Big Daddy's first year, they wanted him fired. When 5-1 his first year, and they were calling for his head. Mm-hmm. I remember it vividly. Mm-hmm. So TC, TC's the only coach that we've ever had where the fans are shouting his name at the W's. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, the feeling is there. You've never seen that before. Mm-hmm. You've never seen that in the SWAC before. Mm-hmm. They wasn't rooting on the team. Hell, we were rooting for the coach. Mm-hmm. And what's crazy is you did it in Atlanta to start the season. His first win, you did it. The first win in Atlanta. When you won the championship, they did it again. A resounding TC.
Them Grambling 4-1 showing love to Eddie Robinson like that?
Man, no.
They wanted Eddie Robinson gone. They felt like Eddie Robinson was past his prime.
You're speaking toward the end, but even during his heyday, Grambling's fan base was nothing like what Jackson State fan base became. Mm-hmm. You gotta understand, the 70s, even before they built Eddie Robinson Stadium, man, Grambling just weren't packing out all those games like that. See, that's what Jackson State fan base wasn't like what it was in the early 70s. But when you win 8 chips in 10 years, in the heyday of the SWAC, remember, we're talking about Jerry Rice. We're talking about all these great players coming in the late 70s, early 80s, and Jackson State is winning it, getting all these great players, going to the NFL. The fan base grew with it. Mm-hmm. It grew with it. And now, watch this. You look at what Jackson State's doing now, because last time do you know that since W.C. Gordon left, when did Jackson State had just had 4 or 5 players in the NFL? We've had players in the NFL, right? Because remember, we had 2 first-round draft picks in 2000 with Cat and Rashad Anderson, right? That's 2 players. But when have we seen where year after year after year we're putting players into the NFL? We haven't done this since Coach Gordon. It started with Desean Sanders, but now it's matriculated because, again, Rob McDaniel was doing his thing in the preseason. Guess what? I was there last week Friday. The Bears were there. Ravens came. They're coming in every practice, and trust me, they talking. We got players there. Like, the whole energy around the program is different. It's just like how it was when Will Cook was out there coaching. So I'm telling you guys, as long as TC is there, Jack State gonna have something to say about who win the SWAC and going to the Celebration Bowl. Now, again, TC is gonna be able to leapfrog a lot of coaches because you got that SWAC championship game and you got the national championship right there after it. So again, if TC comes in here and wins, and these are games that nobody can take away because it's settled on the field. TC wins 3 more Celebration Bowls. He got 4 national titles by himself. I mean, even if he don't get to 150 wins, he's already done something that W.C. Gordon's never done. Now, W.C. Gordon got one thing on his resume that I don't think is ever going to happen again in the SWAC, and that is go 4 years undefeated. But guess what? I don't know if y'all know this, but we undefeated from last year. So he's on his way. Can he go undefeated again this year? He'll be halfway to W.C. Gordon.
All right, so this is the rundown. In terms of 96 of this, y'all went QB 96. Am I correct? Okay. Running back, y'all went this. Wide receiver, y'all went 96. Defense, special teams, y'all went 96. And for head coach, y'all went this year's team. So real ones out there, y'all look for a poll. I'm going to put several polls on YouTube. Let y'all chime in. Let y'all, let me know if y'all agree with these historians, okay? These some bad motherfuckers, man. I appreciate y'all for coming on, dog, for real. This has been great. Y'all boys, shit, when they say true blue, my God, y'all got it. Y'all bleed that shit, and I'm just proud to know you feel me? So go ahead and plug y'all pods and y'all real ones out there. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, share the content. That's really what we be needing. We need y'all to watch and share our shit for real, okay? Because that algorithm is really based on what you watching, you know what I'm talking about? We need y'all to hit that like button as well. It's also based off that. I just watched a video about this yesterday because I'm always trying to get better. So y'all do that for me, do it for these brothers as well. So let them know what you got going on, man.
Yeah, man. Look, first, appreciate you, man. Love doing everything I can with you. And look, man, y'all gonna holler at your boy, man, on Zone Coverage Podcast, man. Thursdays is upcoming season. We just dropped something this past Thursday. Y'all gonna check that out, man. Look, and I will be live reviewing every upcoming game for the week starting this past Thursday. Y'all catch me live 9:45 every Thursday evening. Zone Coverage Podcast.
There you go. Any socials you want them to follow you on, Zo?
Oh man, look, Zo Phillips 1400, man. Everything, Twitter, man, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, it's IG, man. Whatever it is, Zo Phillips 1400, man.
I bet that. Doc, let them know, dog.
Man, catch me on HBCU Overdrive as always. Premiere show HBCU tonight. Started season 5 this past week. Glad to be doing this as always. We got some new things coming out. We got the D2 football talk coming out next Wednesday. We also got on Saturdays we got pregame, halftime, and postgame shows. The premiere HBCU Saturday night will be back on tomorrow night, so y'all tune in to that. You can catch me on the socials, HBC Overdrive on Twitter and on Instagram. You can catch me at Holiday 1925 on TikTok. Catch me by my real name, David E. Smith Douglas, on Facebook. And as always, man, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Hug your loved ones and love your loved ones. And always crash out on your kids and beat their ass out the penitentiary. Be easy.
That's always my line when that boy dropped off right there. All right, man. Appreciate y'all good brothers, man. You watch the content, you enjoy the content. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, go ahead and become a channel member so you can get exclusive content and a free statement tee. shared only with the realest ones.